It's just a fun battle to watch play out. I'm just kind of on the sidelines with the popcorn for this one.
Apple has said it finally approved the third-party Epic Game Store in the European Union, allowing the Fortnite developer to launch its alternative app marketplace in those countries. The approval follows a couple years of public relation campaigns and legal battles between Epic and Apple, with accusations of anti-competitive behavior and unfair revenue cuts from Epic levied towards Apple. I think Apple is being very, very petty about this, and an indication of how petty and ridiculous they're being is how they rejected the application for the store twice before they finally let it through. And one of the reasons that they said was that the button that Epic Game Store was using for install and in-app purchase looked too similar to the Apple's in-app purchase and install button in the App Store. That, like, on its face is absurd. Obviously, buttons look uniform. We standard on a UX paradigm that everyone understands. That's why you standardize on a UX paradigm. To reject someone for that just shows how petty and how they're dragging their feet. And ultimately, they really fucking hate Epic. It's like clear, like it's like a ridiculous perspective, but they're worried about DMA enforcement, Digital Markets Act enforcement in the EU, and so they're ultimately they will comply with it. I've said this many times. Epic Games is like one of my favorite companies because they are willing to take on, David versus Goliath, take on the hegemon. I'm very excited to see how the Epic Game Store works on mobile. Warren, any thoughts here?
It's just a fun battle to watch play out. I'm just kind of on the sidelines with the popcorn for this one. We have Apple with all their megacorp pettiness, Uptick's valued partner, Apple. And we have Tim Sweeney and Epic with as just ultimate trolls, just consistently poking the bear. It's just fun sometimes to be a spectator on these things. They're ultimately, obviously two companies that are critical to the games ecosystem. And I'm just going to keep eating my popcorn, and we'll probably have to cover the story 5 more times before it's resolved. So stay tuned.
We could stop, but I refuse. The thing about the Epic Game Store that I really want to call out why this is important, Epic charges 12.5% royalty fee versus Apple and Steam and everyone else, Google, who charges 30% royalty. So this is just cash put back into the pockets of developers, and that's a huge margin. That's enough to make a business go from unprofitable business to a profitable business to a scaling business. I talk about this like a lot, and it's probably annoying and you're sick of hearing about it, but I think it actually does matter a lot because the capacity to empower game developers overall. And I've said this before, if you're interested in the games ecosystem, I think Epic is the best pure play games bet you can make. Now, why is that? They have a game engine, Unreal Engine, which is industry-leading engine. They have the Epic Game Store currently on PC and coming soon to mobile in the EU at least, and I expect that to proliferate to other geographies over time. And they also have Fortnite and a bunch of other games for the number one games. So you have some of the top games in the world from revenue grossing. So, good on Epic. I will say I've bought Epic shares in the secondary market, so this is definitely a biased perspective, and I am talking my book. But that being said, good on them.
As always, the pod was brought to you by our team here at Uptick. We do games growth. We build software to automate and streamline all aspects of that. And we do all the work. We design the creative, manage paid UA, work with KOLs and influencers, and provide all the analytics, all the moving pieces around games growth. So if you're building a sweet game and need good folks to help you scale it, reach out to us through our website. That's uptick.com, upptic.com.